Welcome back to Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade. Last time, we recovered Ninian's heirloom, Nini's Ninus's Grace, I think. I just call it Nini's Grace, because it sounds funny. And now we're actually getting on with our main objective of helping save Lynn's grandfather in one of the most epically named chapters of all time for just a tutorial. Passing through Arafan and, oh, it is Catherland. I was saying it the right way. Lynn and her friends arrive in Caelin. However, Caelin is now under the rule of Lord Lundagundan. Lundagundan's henchmen lay in wait to assassinate Lynn. They wait for her approach and ready a special weapon. Yeah, our tutorial this time is ballistas, which are... Okay, no, they're not actually a new thing to this game. They were a thing in, like, a lot of other games. I think at this point, the only Fire Emblem that didn't have ballistas was Gaiden? I don't think Gaiden had them. But yeah, we can already see an archer with a ballista all the way over there. Look, Mark.
The enemy!
I mean, the ballista. Oh yeah, Lady Mark. I'm not used to saying lady there. 2 days, so I guess 8 days have passed because they said there was a 10-day ride previously? Oh, well, we actually get Florida speaking here. And like, Florida has had surprisingly not that much of a role in a lot of the chapters. Will hasn't said much either, but this chapter's actually it's kind of intended to be Will's thing. You'll see. And happy music suddenly cut off by danger music. This music, I think it's called like When the Rush Comes, a different song. I forget the exact name of this one, but like this song's also a Binding Blade remix, and once again, I vastly prefer this version to the Binding Blade version. There's like exactly one Binding Blade remix where I prefer the Binding Blade version. Oh, right, that! So, I want to say that there is actually a way to... Huh. I remember learning something about that scripted ballista dodge there. Because I forget how much experience Lynn had at the end of the last... In fact, I can actually check my footage because... Okay, she had 33. But also, yeah, only archers can use ballistas, and ballistas count as really, really big bows, so flyers still take bonus damage. So yeah, you could basically just intentionally hang back and tank all of its ammo, or you can rush up to it. It's just a really big bow, right? I should be able to figure it out. I mean, it's not like you're somehow turning your child into a ballista. That moment in, like, the third Hobbit movie was so... Honestly, I feel like so many parodies of Battle of Five Armies completely just miss all of the actual things to parody in that movie. Like, that is such a hilariously bad movie, but, like, there's just... All the parodies are just like, oh, it's too long. Like, why'd they split the book into 3 movies? That's the lamest joke you can make about that movie. There are so many other things you can joke about in that movie. But anyway, no, so now this is really strange. Now, if you visited the house with Hector, you'll know probably what this business that Matthew is doing, that, you know, like, what it relates to. But, like, the really weird thing is, like, they don't let you deploy Matthew in this map, and I'm not really sure why. Because there's really nothing that would be lost or gained with Matthew present. I don't really get, like, there's nothing to, like, there's no chests. There's no, like, Matthew not being deployable just doesn't really change anything about how you play this map. I really don't know why they remove him here. Okay, so the weird oversight with this is restarting Chapter 8, Vortex's strategy. It will take you through these cutscenes again. And during this scene, the ballista shoots at Lynn. Now, if we go into the unit screen, Lynn now has 35 experience. She had 33 at the end of the last chapter, and she would have had 34 after that first ballista shot. What we do here is we save on the prep screen. This will save that 1 experience point Lynn gained. And then we hold L, R, A, and B to soft reset. And then we restart the chapter again. We're still saved at the preparation screen, but we get to see the cutscenes of the chapter again. In which case, the ballista will shoot at her again. And now she has 36 experience. So, if you want to be very, 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 very tedious, you can repeat this process over and over again to level up Lynn to level 20. It's theoretically possible, and if you do this, apparently she always gets the same level up every time. I assume because the game's RNG is, like, fixed in that cutscene. So, it'll be weird, but, it's possible to grind her all the way up to level 20 just off of this. But, again, very tedious, probably not necessary, but it is an option. Just remember to save every time she gains 1 experience. But yeah, here's the ballista, here is its attack range. And I'll explain its damage, when we get into the actual battle. But, at least, mercifully, you still get the chance to switch Matthew's items. Matthew will be coming back in the next chapter, so don't take, like, always the inventory. But I guess, I mean, at the moment, the only way to use that hammer is Dorcas, but I'm not really using Dorcas. Yeah, the thing about that Pure Water is, you know what, I should actually go to Lucius at the moment, because, we don't have a convoy to, like, put things we're never going to use in. Okay, I think Florina's Javelin's fine. However, I am going to trade Will back his Iron Bow, because you are kind of supposed to bring Will here. So, I don't like not bringing... I mean, I didn't even use Lucius in the last map, though, so yeah, let's swap out Lucius for Will. Yeah, don't worry, you will be seeing Lucius in bonus footage from the Eliwood playthrough. Like, I like him a lot, I think he's a very good unit, but I'm not going to be using him in this run. But yeah, that's the good thing about having these kind of route splits, is you get to see more people get used. So, hang on. Is it really... Can I... Alright, there is another archer there to kind of discourage you from doing this, but, with the... Okay, yeah, it's still super dangerous to try and pull this off, but, like, I could try! This is gonna be very funny if it does work. So, Vortex's strategy is such an epic name. On the far side of the hill to the south is a ballista. Kent already gave us this tutorial. You know, you don't have to give this tutorial God, apparently. I mean, other people in the comments said that this could be Anna, but I guess it could be, yeah. Yeah, very large. They can attack without fear of counterattack. They're quite useful. To use one, yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the one thing that Will has over Wrath. Only on-foot archers can use ballistas. Wrath actually can't. Oh yeah, ballistas can move in this game. They'll be fired by any archer in the field. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, if you take out the one archer that's on the ballista, the other archer can just move onto it and use it. So, like, actually going for the whole, because I'm thinking, like, Florida plus Nils, I can actually get to this guy on turn 1, but it does just mean that this guy will just be able to replace him, plus we have a couple of cavalry that could come in and attack Florida as well, so... yeah, it might not be for the best. So, this guy's in the ballista. You might notice that, like, 6 plus 3, he'd normally have 9 attack, but he has 11. The ballista has different stats to regular, like, iron bows. So, 11 attack. We need to subtract 3 from that to actually get the might of the ballista. So, that would be 8, right? I think it would be 8. 9, 10, 11, yeah. So, 8 times 2, 16 plus 3, 19 versus her defensive 5. Yeah, so Florida won't actually die in one shot to that, but she probably would if this was the Japanese version. I'm just trying to think whether I should go for this or not. It's probably a bad idea, but at the same time, it is also turn 1. Okay. I may be slightly crazy. I should also mention that this is the map where I had my second loss in my first playthrough. Also, if I use the Javelin here, yeah, he actually can't counterattack with his bow. In fact, if I do this, I think only the other archer can get Florina. Because these mages are gonna probably go for Nils, which, to be fair, is also not great. 9, 6, resistance 4. I mean, granted, I can just snatch him away with a rescue, so you know what, let's actually go ahead and do that. So, you're kind of not really supposed to do this. Also, battle animations are off by default with ballistas, which wasn't the case in Binding Blade. But yeah, the knights can't reach her from there, only the other archer, and the other archer is probably going to prioritize the ballista. But as I was saying, I had my second loss of the playthrough, my first ever playthrough in this map, and it was Lucius. Lucius got smashed by the ballista, because I was a little bit cavalier with where I was placing him, and that didn't end up ending well. So, yeah, I learned the hard way. Watch out for the ballista, don't underestimate it. But let's go ahead and take the nils and drop the nils, and then, speaking of take and drop, I'm going to try and move Wrath with Will as far as I can through this map to see if I can get Will to the ballista. Remember that village over there, though. Don't forget that it exists. And, oh, Sarah doesn't have enough con to pick up Will. Okay, so the archer's probably going to go on the ballista, and he's probably going to go for Florina or Sarah, I get the sense. You attacked her with the no damage fire while she has a javelin. Oh, she couldn't even double. Okay. Well, I suppose that was somewhat smart. Now, Flux is kind of heavy. I wonder if this is going to get him... It's probably not, because Flux is... Heavy by magic standards is still quite... Okay, yeah, we get it. Florina is the clan at this playthrough. Florina is just going to go crazy. So, yeah, it was nils. The ballista's accuracy is kind of bad, though, so, like, that was 11, unless this archer has different... No, it's still 11. So nils would have not died, but still. And once I take out archer number 2 with Florina... Yeah, we don't have to worry about the enemy using that ballista anymore. So that's kind of a, like... I don't think you're supposed to really know that you can do that. Especially since, like, the game is kind of trying to tell you, don't bring Florina to this map, she's gonna die and it will be bad. But if you have nils, then you don't have to worry about Florina taking a shot from the ballista because she can fly straight there. That's why dancers are amazing. Like, it's kind of interesting that, like, you know, talking about, like, you know, hardcore and... So I'd say softcore playthroughs is the opposite, but that sounds really bad. Like, really, really, really bad. Actually, hang on. Yeah, speaking of why dances are good. But anyway, as I was saying, okay, you go there, you equip that, and... Speaking of hang on, Lynn may be slightly in danger here. See, I was gonna play the flute. Like, my head goes, dance, no, sing, no, it's not either of them, it's play. But yeah, you're, done. Okay, I don't actually need to, refresh, I guess I could just say refresh, because that covers all of them. Refresh Sane, because, I am a little concerned that Lynn may get killed by both those cavaliers, so... I do wonder, though, because Kent's only got 10... Oh, no, Kent does double them. Just trying to think whether I should refresh Lynn and have him use the Manicardi, or if I should just do this. If one of them goes for nils, he's probably still fine. Yeah, no, he's more than fine. He has, like, a bajillion speed. Okay, so if I do that, then... Or Kent could not have enough power to double them. Right. That was a little unfortunate, then. I mean, they are almost certainly gonna... I don't want both of them to go for nils, though. That would be really, really, really unfortunate. This is very, very silly. Will Wall. The Will Wall. And only one of them will be able to go for him, and they're probably both gonna go for Lynn anyway, and... this concerns me somewhat, but, I guess I can do this. I mean, I could get a crit, we'll see. Because, yeah, there's a couple of, I need to, I did get a crit. Is that good or bad? No, I think it's still good. I think it's still fine. Because, like, yeah, only one of them can, yeah, he's probably gonna, these guys can't get to Lynn, so, well, he should be good. Meanwhile, I haven't even showed this boss yet. He has a very, very bushy moustache. Okay, so, hello there. I think Kent's fine. We'll see. Sometimes I would make jokes about Kent got killed, Sane got slain, because their names kind of line up to the point where you can do that. But yeah. And that was before I used a completely different term for characters dying in this game, but oh boy, am I gonna have to explain, is the time Is it the time when So, yeah, thank you for the dodge there. My heart still skips a beat every time Nils gets attacked, even though he's, in all practicality, he's completely fine, but I still, yeah. Oh, actually, no, okay. Mercifully, this village has saved me from talking about Ding Dong, because I mean, it's a very important story from my childhood. But yeah, this is a tutorial on a very, this is not actually, like, this mechanic was introduced in the previous Game Boy Advance game. The Reaver weapons. So yeah, they're weapons that reverse the weapon triangle. So, like, this is a sword that's good against lances and weak against axes. And what the game doesn't actually tell you is not only do Reaver weapons reverse the weapon triangle, they also double its effects. So... yeah, I believe it's C-ranked. But yeah, we had this thing which I used to call the Lancer Reaver. I put an extra, like, A in it. Yeah, it's C-rank. Strong against spears. It also has 5 crits. So basically you're getting plus or minus, and yeah, the double weapon triangle applies in both ways. So if you're facing an axe with it, you'll get a very big disadvantage. So basically it's plus or minus 30 hit and avoid, and plus or minus 2 attack. So yeah, actually quite scary if you're on the wrong end of a Reaver weapon, but also very positive to you if your enemy's on the wrong end of a because Will wasn't present in the last map, his animations are off. However, goodbye. Hopefully, but yeah, because she could have missed there, but no. Getting to the point where my strongest characters are starting to get very, very limited experience from enemies, but I guess that's a good sign. You're kind of meant to be spreading your experience a little more evenly. Also, this is a route map. We have an Axe Brigand up there. 6 speed is, and also 12 con, so he's not getting weighed down. So 6 speed's quite a bit. If I use the Iron Lance, I lose 4 speed, so I go down to 9, which is just barely enough to not double him, so I have to use the Slim here. Let's use the Slim, and then... okay. Interesting. Yoink Will, go there, play for Wrath, and then I can drop Will on the ballista. Yeah, another reason why dances are just really good in this series. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say earlier, is that, like, so there was a time that back when the hardcore community played this game, also, yeah, those reinforcements, those were ambush spawns. I am not sure, like, why they are. Like, maybe the game just forgot to not make them ambush spawns, but yeah, Lynn mode, like there are some ambush spawns in this game, and they're in Lynn mode. It's really weird. Like, practically speaking, you're not really gonna have somebody down here unless you're going really, really fast, but it's really weird to me that, like, this is generally a no ambush spawns game, but there actually are a few ambush spawns. I don't know why that's the case. It's like a Lynn normal mode of all things. But anyway, yeah, so I can use this now. And I can use it only has 4 bolts though. The enemy didn't really leave me much. But yeah, the enemies here all have Reaver weapons. So this chapter's kind of your tutorial on that. But oh, I just made him stop, right? That's annoying. But yeah, speaking of Reaver weapons, yeah, Florida, you can see how ridiculous being on the right end of the weapon triangle is against a Reaver weapon. But it does mean that the Sword Reaver is going to be good against her. It does have 9 crit, although yeah, she has 10 luck, so she has no chance of being hit by that whatsoever. Also, the boss here is Yogi Bear! I never watched Yogi Bear as a kid. I'm kind of glad that I didn't. A knight of Kalen who has remained loyal to Lundergunden because he promised him picnics. Again, yeah, I never watched Yogi Bear at all, and I don't know, it sounds like one of those kids shows that's like really, it sounds kind of like, I never watched Barney the Dinosaur as a kid either. I mean, I feel like honestly Barney the Dinosaur gets too much flack, but okay, I'm going way off topic here. So there was a time when the hardcore community, and it probably wasn't like a lot of them, because I know that whenever I say this, a lot of people in the comments are very incredulous about this. But there was a time when the hardcore community in Fire Emblem actually thought that dances were bad. Because they're like, you know, yeah, you get to refresh, like, let your best units move again, but I'd rather bring a second paladin to a map than a dancer. I just feel like they didn't really realize just how versatile getting somebody to move twice is. Because you've already seen so far in this chapter, there's a lot that you can do with this. Like, you can rescue somebody, carry them with a cavalry person, and then dance for that cavalry, and then drop them in the same turn. I am being very aggressive with Florina this map, but, like, this is Giga Swole Florina. She kind of deserves to go aggressive. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen, whether these enemies are going to go for her or they're going to go for Lynn or Kent. But we are on, like, our woods. Also, Urk's going to take ages getting that Lancer Reaver. I almost called it by its proper name, but I like to say Lancer Reaver because it's, again, there are ambush spawns. Like, that guy spawned and attacked Kent in the same time. Why are there ambush spawns in the tutorial? Like, every single other reinforcement in this game is not an ambush. Like, there are ambush spawns in the next chapter as well. And after that, like, I don't think there are any more for the rest of the game. But it's like, it's almost as if they forgot to, like, turn off their spawns. Or maybe they just thought that they take too long to get into the action if they weren't ambush spawns. So they do start quite far away from you. Okay, yeah, that's the Reaver, so Lynn's fine. It's interesting how, like, Reaver weapons essentially, give you triangle adept from heroes before that was a thing. Yeah, I had a feeling that you'd do that. Oh, I was very, very scared by that 3% crit rate there. And yeah, crits don't obey true hit, by the way, so, like, that crit is a 3%. However, the game only rolls for crits if the attack hits in the first place. So essentially, that critical rate was, like, in practice, 3% of, Okay, Kent is getting very close to leveling up, so I should probably, lance this guy. They are doing a pretty sizable amount of damage to him. Okay, if 2 more soldiers spawn and each of them deals 6 damage, he won't die. Though I would appreciate him getting 1 point of defense here, just to make it totally certain. Well, he didn't gain defense, but he gained almost everything else, so I'll take that. Yeah, hopefully he's okay? Oh, or I could just, you know, end this map now, which is probably the right thing to do, because this guy has the Axa Reaver, which means that Lynn just shreds him, unless he gets a 2% of a, like, less than 25% chance, which, I don't know, may happen. Or Florina could just hit him first, and just, I mean, Lynn's gonna take him out regardless, but, like, I want a little bit of experience, I suppose. Though the Javelin is safer. I kind of like this guy's armor color. Oh, well, that was good because I got another Lance rank on Florina, which is already up to B. Oh, yeah, you can't actually get an S rank in any weapon type if you're unpromoted. Only promoted characters are allowed to have S ranks. S ranks are... Well, okay, yeah, so weapon ranks do go up to S. I think I'll explain how they work the first time I get someone to an S rank in a weapon type, because, there are some benefits to it, but not a ton in this game. Because you don't actually get the S-rank weapons until the final chapter. That was basically a Star Fox quote. Uh-oh, apparently reinforcements are coming, so we better get out of here quickly. Well, I mean, I cleaned up this chapter pretty quickly, too. No strength, but at least we got luck. So, yeah, that went more smoothly than it went in my first playthrough, where, yeah, Lucius was on the wrong end of the ballista. Okay, so Lucius and Florina are the only 2 that I know that I lost in my first playthrough in Lynn mode, but I feel like I lost either Kent or Sane at some point, and that I may have lost Nils, but my memories are hazy on everybody except for Florina and Lucius, who I definitely lost. I remember exactly where I did. I guess, to be fair, losing somebody to a boss and also losing somebody to a ballista are very memorable. Yeah, I may have lost Lynn to a ballista in a much later chapter in the game. Ah, yeah, Ken actually knew some of the people that we just fought, which is actually really sad when you think about it. I think she probably would have survived, but still. Always best not get shot by ballistas with Lynn, because, yeah, I had a game over in a way later map in this game, because I didn't train Lynn in my first playthrough, and, Lynn got instantly one-shotted by a ballista, and, yeah, from that point on, I always train my lords. I do want to talk about the, quote-unquote ethics of training lords later on, because there are some, like, guides who say don't train the lords because, you know, all of the ways that you can easily lose lords are avoidable. If you're playing this game blind, how are people gonna know about that kind of stuff? It's, yeah, I have a rant about that once I get later. So yeah, this is the reason why Matthew wasn't usable on this map. He was going to gather intel. Meanwhile, Lynn doesn't suspect that Matthew might be a little more than he says he is. Granted, her mind's preoccupied by other things, like her grandfather being poisoned. Yeah. I'm impressed Matthew figured all this out, like, so quickly. Just gonna realize this reminds me a little bit of that time in Tearing Saga, where you can send, like, that game's thief character to spy on, like, the first, like, castle. Except in that case, it's, like, not a part of the story. It's, like, an optional event, and if you don't do it, you actually miss out on a whole bunch of recruits later on. Oh, boy, that's gonna give credence to the whole... I'll just say it right now, I hate the theory that Tearing Saga is a copy of this game's plot, because it's really not. Like, it's very much not. The similarities are the most superficial surface-level things, but that's an entire thing. Yeah, true, especially when he could just use his army to suppress anybody who speaks out. And all of the grandfather's loyal retainers seem to be gone. Lundgren may have ensured that they all accidentally brutally cut their heads off while combing their hair. That's a Blackadder line, by the way. Oh. Ah. He's trying to get everyone against us by saying that we're not the real heir. So the stakes are pretty high going into the finale of Lynn's story. Oh yeah, yeah, that racist guy, he'll vouch for us, right? We are quickly approaching the climax of this short segment of the story. Ah, now we're gonna play the Elliewood card. And we've run back to somewhere we went to before. So, as I said, our story is approaching its climax. Next time, we get the ultimate final character of Lynn's story, and one who changes quite a bit on hard mode.